Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Gilreath, and I did my research paper on technology and its effects on children in the elementary classroom. So, the reasons I chose this topic: I'm an intervention specialist working with elementary students. I have worked with kindergarten, first grade, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, and I am pursuing my master's degree in classroom technology. So, this kind of just fell into my lap as what I thought would be a good topic for me to research. Additionally, my school has been fortunate enough to have some grants over the past couple of years to get Chromebooks for our students. And this coming year will be the first year that all of our students, kindergarten through 12th grade, will have Chromebooks. So they're getting utilized more and more. The purpose of my research was to figure out what educational technology tools are most successful in supporting students with special needs. So I had originally aimed to look for specific tools that I could seek out and use with my students, but as I did the research, it kind of started gearing towards another direction just with all of the results I was finding. So on to the findings. Even with technology not being used fully, teachers see benefits. So one of the studies had Promethean whiteboards that teachers were using, and they found a great benefit, but it was interesting that they were only using 12 tools out of the 200 that they could have been using, and they still saw a large benefit with that. Regarding assistive technology, there's very little preparation for teachers, including the different types, how to implement it, and determining needs for students. Teachers used blogs in some of the research papers and found that to be very helpful for them. They used it either just for themselves, but also for their students. They posted links to games and videos and such. And then they were using apps and music as rewards. Problems. Some of the problems were the website reading levels and speech to text. With my fifth and sixth graders, I know sometimes when they're going on to different websites to do some research, that vocabulary is a lot more advanced than they are used to. So it's a little difficult for them to get everything they could from that website. And additionally, speech to text. A lot of times the speech to text isn't as accurate. And then if you have students that aren't very good with reading and spelling, it's a little hard for them to see how accurate it is when they're proofreading their work. There was a comparison in one study of applications, app-based teaching, a teacher, computer, and an application teacher combination. With this, there was no clear winner. Everyone kind of had a different choice with that, but they did find from that study that offering choices is beneficial, which I think many of us could agree that we have seen that in our classrooms. Acceptance in the classroom of technology is based on previous teacher experience, according to one of the studies. So if you, as a teacher, have had a bad experience with iPads in the past, it would be you might not implement that as well as a teacher who has had great experiences with that. Some of the downfalls, as we know, the high cost usually for technology, the need for training, and the difficulty of implementation during instruction. So some of our discussion boards have brought that up, that we need to make sure we're fully integrating that technology in, not just kind of throwing it in to say that we use it. Word prediction and spell check have also had some problems. This goes along with the speech to text that I've seen. Even when we talk to Siri on our iPhones, it's not always accurate. One of the studies asked instructors at a graduate school what they felt the needs were for them to better instruct. They said more access to technology, professional development, collaboration, and coordination. A big barrier in technology with many of the papers I read was the lack of availability, and I'm sure a lot of that can be due to cost as well. One study focused on the software impact on reading comprehension, vocabulary development, and communication. And the student testimonials in this were really amazing because all of the students, every single one, was very happy with their experience with these. So they used Destination Reading, Leapfrog, Listen and Speak, and Schoolhouse Rock were the examples included in that paper. All of those students had positive reactions, as I said. One study also compared state test scores from before interactive whiteboards were implemented into the classroom to after, and the math and ELA scores both went up. The math mean score before was around 550 and jumped to 579, and the English language arts jumped from 560 to 590. So it showed that the implementation of those interactive whiteboards could have been a strong factor in bumping up those test scores. Another study asked about professional development in the last 12 months, and for about all of these, they're right around half for agreeing. So met my goals and needs, supported the goals and standards of my state or district and school, applied to technology available in my school, and it was available at convenient times and places. I noted these statistics because I just thought it was interesting that about half of the teachers agreed with this. To me, that seemed a little low, but I know for some people that could be right on par with what you would expect. And from one of the studies, they said the most available and used resources from a survey with the teachers was the interactive whiteboard. And I think those are becoming more and more prevalent in our schools. Independent learning was most helpful in preparation for teaching. So the work that we do on our own, kind of playing with technology in our own time, was most helpful for a lot of the teachers. Recommendations from studies. Overall, this is how my research kind of developed into more than just the tools that are needed. Every single paper that I looked at recommended more professional development for teachers. I knew that it was needed before, but this just really showed me how vital it is to have specific professional development for specific needs. Do you need that for a specific app, for a specific tool? And then continuous throughout implementation and beyond. So not just professional development right when a tool is being introduced, but also throughout that year as teachers get used to it, as they are introducing that to their students. Conclusions. So as I said at the start of this paper, I expected to see which tools work best and how to implement them. But the results have shown me that no matter what tool it is, the teachers really just need to be trained in that and trained successfully. In order for technology to be successfully incorporated into the classroom, professional development must be ongoing, and it needs to occur before new technology is introduced and continue to play a role to encourage it to be integral, not just an add-on feature, as we have talked about. That concludes my presentation of my research paper. I hope you have found some interesting information. I for sure will be looking into professional development with a lot more detail.